Have you ever been perusing the internet and found some slide decks that you've wanted to use and they're beautiful, and often thought to yourself, I wonder how I could make that myself? Or maybe you are making your own slide decks, but you wish you could make them a little more visually appealing. But maybe you find your choice is limited. Today we're going to show you how you can create more visually appealing fonts using a Google Slides. Today we're going to focus on how to make some creative fonts, specifically like the outlined fonts that we see here. I think in Microsoft PowerPoint it sometimes is a little more intuitive, but there are a few steps here in Google Slides that you can use to make this happen. So we're going to get started. Personally, I find the fonts already in Google Slides to be a little bit boring. Instead, I like to spice up my fonts, and there are two easy ways I can accomplish this. First, I could get the Extensis Fonts extension. That's this one right here. I already have it, but if you don't, you can go to your extensions, add-ons, and get add-on. From here, you're going to search for Extensis Fonts. And it looks like this. And you're going to install. However, if you are a part of a school organization, for example, this feature of downloading various extensions could be blocked by your Google Workspace administrator. If it is, don't despair. You do have the ability to get more interesting fonts from a second source. If you prefer, you could get your fonts from Microsoft PowerPoint. To do that, simply insert a text box. Fonts that you want. In shape format, you can change the color of these, whatever color it is you want, the outline, the fill color. You could do every other letter if you prefer. So we're just going to leave it like this. I'm just going to make it basic. From here, if I were to copy and paste the text into my Google slide, that formatting doesn't keep. So in order to get it from PowerPoint into your Google slide, you need to not copy the text, but click on the text box and copy the text box. And then when you paste that into Google Slides, it will keep that formatting. So that is a second way to get fonts if you like the fonts that are in Microsoft PowerPoint. So there are a couple of ways you can insert fonts into your Google Slides slide deck. The first is through a regular text box. In this method, you can change the font, and you can change that font color. But if you want to have a secondary color, people typically do that through like a fill color, and then it fills the entire box, not necessarily just an outline on your text. However, if you are wanting to have text that's maybe a little blockier and has outlines, we saw how to do that in PowerPoint, and then we could insert it in here. How we do that directly through Google Slides is we're going to insert, and we're going to choose WordArt. Now if I click enter, it will insert it. I personally feel this maybe isn't the most beautiful WordArt ever, and there isn't exactly a way where you can choose different options. So if you want to change your WordArt, you're going to make sure your box is active, make sure it's blue. If you want to change the font, you can do so. You can go through, these are all of the fonts here, or you can go to your extensions and your Extensis fonts, and you can open that up. In my case, I'm going to access them by clicking more fonts, and I can go through until I find something that I like. Because I've kind of done this before, I'm going to pick Bowlby 1 and make that my font. Notice there is an outline there, but it's probably not entirely what I want, so I do have the ability now to go update my fill. And if I want, I can really customize that. So I can go to the internet, go to Google, and type in palette or color theme choices under images. So if you're really trying to stick to a theme, for your slides, this would be a great way to do so. So find one I like. Once I found a color theme that I like, I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to take that and just quickly paste it into my page. Now this part itself isn't important. We're not going to keep it. It's not going to be a part of my slide deck. If you have the eyedropper Chrome extension, this is where I would encourage you to use it. And now you can pick a color from the page. I can click on it to get the exact color I want from my theme. I can highlight this specific number that has kind of that pound sign with some numbers and letters, copy. And then when I go here and I pick my color, I can do custom, add custom color, and where it says hex, this is where I will paste that specific combination of letters and numbers and click OK. Now I have an outline that is that darker color. If I want, I can change my outline to make it thicker. You really could change it to have dots or different dashes if you wanted. And now with my fill, if I wanted to change that color, maybe I wanted to make it the red. I'm going to go take my eyedropper again. And now notice everything in that word art changes. If you want to have different, like I did here on my first slide, you would have to do a separate word art for each one. So this is one word art, this is a second word art, and this is a third, and then you just line them up. So this is how you can start making some more interesting text for your slides. Hope you enjoyed.